Lester died on purpose. The president could not command the real world to behave according to his imagination of what it ought to be and what he knew it could be, because of what he knew of what he was himself and what he knew of what he wished he might at last become. Hear this, he'd say, and then he'd play it tone, note for note so they all could hear, but they didn't hear it as he played it, in the same way that what he thought he heard was different from the way he played it. This is only the echo, this is only the echo, this is only the echo, the echo, the echo, the echo of what I hear, I hear, I hear, and what you hear, you hear, you hear, is only the echo, the echo, the echo of what I play, I play, I play. Poor Lester put on his best gray suit and called for the barber to come to his house and cut his hair because he had decided to die and expected his friends to come and pay their respects at the last. Lester acted this way not out of respect for death, but out of fear for what the living would think of him should he go to the grave with his hair uncut and his suit unpressed. Even in death, he was a professional. Lester always had money. Well, not always, but later in life he always had money. He made more money than any man alive in his profession while he was alive, and he continues to make money for others even today while he rots in the grave. Lester was never a rich man because he gave all his money away. He kept his sidemen alive so that when the time was right, they could play with him again. He'd sidle up to them like a thief from the darkness where they stood at the bar hungering for a drink or a gesture and say to them, "Have yourself a good time, man," slipping them half a yard and slipping away before they could protest or refuse or even say thanks. Lester invented his own language because he was bored with the words and the meanings of the words of the language he had already heard and the world he had already seen. He used words like candles to illuminate the hidden corners where nobody else was ever looking. Lester then slowly taught this language to everybody else who could hear him, and millions who couldn't. But it was not the words he wanted to teach. It was the habit of looking into corners. Lester was the original inventor of the word cool, and he invented the word while jazz was still hot. Lester was the most relaxed man on earth. When somebody spoke in the ordinary language of curses and slurs, Lester would say, "I feel a draft," and then he would leave the room because the draft was uncool. Lester invented the word threads to describe a suit of clothes. In the same way, Democritus invented the word atoms to describe the matter which surrounds us and of which we are made. Lester called his horn a motherfucker because Lester would not be what somebody else already was. Lester would not be, Lester would not, Lester would be, Lester would be, Lester.